What it do? Welcome to HoodSoul Wisdom. First and foremost, I appreciate you tapping in. I hope this episode finds you in the very best of every single aspect possible, including but not limited to mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Those are and forever will be my highest hopes and prayers for you and yours. I'm your host, Ruby. Glad you came through to Align and Thrive. This episode is brought to you by Forever Wise Coaching. Align and thrive with your health and wellness in mind. And Forever Wise Apparel, conscious wear with the essence of a G. Episode 23, Play to Win, Part 3, the levels. So y'all hear Tupac talking about the levels, right? And of course, this is my interpretation of it, of the game, my philosophy. As I see it, there are 3 levels to this game of life. The first level is the ego. The second level is the mind. And the third level is the spirit. Now, these levels, they're within. Unfortunately, most of our people just focus on the physical world. The world that we could touch, feel, taste. You know, the one that we could delve in with our 5 senses. But what if I told you there's more than 5 senses? There's 13, and I'll get into that at a later point in time. But right now, let's focus on the levels. So I mentioned the 3 levels, right? The first one is the ego, and the ego is based on fear. The ego goes around and around in circles, in loops. It reacts and only soaks up energy and gets easily caught up in the game. And it creates, because we're all creators, remember? But it creates subconsciously. It creates through fear. And when we live through the ego, man, we're always worried. We're always facing a lot of hardship. We live in the struggle. We live in lack. We live in scarcity. We live in hopelessness. Because all we do is something happens outside of us, we react to it, and we use our mind and our imagination to worry. We just go in circles and in circles, and we're always struggling no matter what. It's like a different ass situation, but the same struggle. Ask yourself if you've ever found yourself in those type of situations that you go from place to place, job through job, situation through situation, relationship through relationship. But it's always a struggle. Why? Because we live in fear and we're creating through fear. We're just reacting to everything outside of us. We're not emitting any new energy. All we're doing is soaking up energy. And the thing is that when you soak up energy, you're easily manipulated by what goes on outside of you. You ain't never got no time to actually delve within and think and rationalize, because your mental chatter, your mental conversations, your thoughts, they're all about your surrounding. That's all you focus on. And in the spiritual community, we call that the 3D, the third dimension. It's just what we sense to be real with our 5 senses, because obviously we haven't tapped into any of our other senses. So now I'm gonna go to the next level. Many of us are in the next level, which is the mind. And the mind, it thinks, it rationalizes. So when you're in the mind, it's like when you know better, you do better. You start to create a little bit more consciously, and you step into a higher version of yourself. Yeah, you still got limiting beliefs, but you know how to overcome them, because now you're not just reacting to shit. You start thinking a little bit more, rationalizing, and making better decisions. It's like you're in that midpoint where you know you have a choice. The choices still involve the 3D, but they're made a bit more consciously because you know you want to get to better levels of yourself. That's the mind. The next level, which is where I want all of y'all to be, is within the spirit. Within your higher self, because your spirit knows. And let me go back to this. This is something that I'm going to post later during the week, right? But these are the 3 levels. Ego fears, mind thinks, rationalizes, but spirit knows. When you're in that 5th level, when you're in that level where you're so connected to your higher self and you're so connected to your spirit, you just know. You have faith in yourself. You believe in yourself. You start creating consciously. You start thinking on purpose. You start tapping into the creator within. And when you think on purpose, you just know shit is going to work out. You ain't worried about the when. You ain't worried about the how. You just know that whatever it is you focus on is going to turn out in a good way. It's always going to work out for you. And for many of us, most of us, it's so difficult to get to that level of knowing and trusting and believing because there's so much shit that weighs us down within our ego. We got so many fucking fears, so many fucking doubts that have been planted within us that we stay in these fucked up negative loops going round and round. And it's like, we can't even imagine a better life. We feel like everything is stacked up against us. And my goal as a coach, I'm an alignment coach. So what I do is I help my clients align their mind with their goals so they could achieve success. That's what I do. I'm an alignment coach. I align your mind. And when you're living on that level, on that spirit level, on that higher level, on your higher self level, life just starts to unfold and it gets easy. But you know why life is easy? It's only for one reason, your thought process. Because life is a motherfucking psychological drama. When we think about psychology is all about the mind. What that means is that most of us sit there and all we use our fucking imagination for is to worry and to fear. We're always fucking thinking worst case scenario about every single thing happening within our lives. We stay judging everything mostly in a negative manner. Try to observe yourself this week. Whether you think about a colleague, a co-worker, the person driving next to you, your partner, your friends, your family. Observe yourself. What do you talk about most of the time? We are drama-filled individuals. And now I don't blame us because in the 3D, within the ego, within this world we live in that just involves our 5 senses, that's what the fuck sells. That's what everything is revolved around. Look at your social media. Listen to the news. Listen to the radio. All it is fucking gossip and drama. And we carry that shit with us everywhere we go. And the thing is that because all we're doing is soaking up energy within the 3D, ain't shit change. Like, yeah, certain situations could change, but we carry the same fucking problems, the same fucking drama, just to different situations. And when you get to the mind and to spirit, you start creating differently. And what's beautiful is that when you get to this highest level and you start thinking on purpose, you emit your own energy. You're not just soaking shit up. Nah, nothing like that. You're actually giving out energy. You're coming up with your own thoughts. You're coming up with your own creations. You are focused on creating because your imagination creates new worlds. Everything that has been created that we use in our everyday life, it came from imagination. And what happens is that when you focus on something, it grows, whether it's something positive or negative. When you're focused on something negative, guess what? The problem grows and gets bigger because you start going down that fucking rabbit hole in worst case scenario. But when you focus on something good and you know that there's no other fucking option but for it to be successful and you ain't got no doubts, no fear, all you have is self-belief and faith, then that idea grows too and it materializes, but in a way that it's going to empower you. And that's my goal. My goal is to help you align and thrive. My goal is to enlighten you and to empower you so you could evolve. And when I talk about evolution, I talk about the evolution within your mindset, the psychological evolution of learning how to create your own fucking thought and not going in these downward spirals that ain't doing shit for you. And you're just reacting on a day-to-day basis. But yeah, those are the levels. Tell me what you think about it and what level are you on? Because I'm trying to take you to higher levels. I got some shit coming for y'all that I hope you guys want to be involved in. I hope you guys want to take part in. I'm going to be taking some students for free. And we about to do this shit. Before I wrap it up, right? Make sure y'all tap in. Follow me on IG at HoodSoul Wisdom, at Forever Wise Coaching, and at Forever Wise Apparel for updates, giveaways, and merch drops. And if you haven't yet, do yourself a favor and click the link on the bio at HoodSoul Wisdom to download 8 affirmations to help you tap in and align with your essence. And subscribe to the email list so you're always up on game with what I got coming next. I appreciate you coming through, and as always, may the higher powers guide you, protect you, and fully equip you with a pure mind, good health, and a solid spirit. With much love, respect, and sincerity, I'm out.